All right, so welcome to the first episode of Apocrypha, which will be a fan fiction reading slash reacting slash analysis podcast, with other things maybe going on as we figure out more of an actual format for this thing. For now, we just think that it would be pretty funny to read some funny fanfics and then be grossed out and need to take very cold showers afterward. I'm your host, Sal.
I'm Max, and yeah, as Sal said, this is a fairly freeform show. We're reading, live reacting, and commentating, and afterwards we're going to be analyzing each piece and putting our takes on it. This piece we got today is Gopher Chan's piece. It's Goku and Frank until the end of time. And would you like to start with the author memo? Author memo?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. So it starts off with just hi, and then those ASCII uwu characters that all the cool kids are using nowadays. Uh, I'm Gopher Chan, and this is my first piece of fan fiction. It was my brother's idea, an Anne Frank slash Dragon Ball Z crossover. I am big fans of both, and I am immediately concerned. Now, I'm gonna go through this and keep pretending that I haven't actually read this fanfic like 100 times, but
For
the
most of
reason
these are going to be
why
things that we haven't read before, but yeah, this one as a
this
beginner.
one this one is very much one that I've read before. I picked it because it's so tone deaf and great. We'll get to that. Chapter 1. Anne sighed as she sat in her room staring at her wall. She was just finished writing in her diary and had nothing to do. Life was boring in the secret annex, but it was better than the alternative. It was all right talking to Peter and Margot, but they were both such quiet people, unlike the always active Anne. All of a sudden, a flash of light appeared in the room. Anne jumped back, stifling a scream. Before she could run out the closed door, she noticed that the person who appeared in the flash was not a Nazi officer, but someone who she had never seen before, implying that I mean, I guess she would have seen Nazi officers
Yeah,
before. I was gonna
I'm sure
back that.
she's seen the Gestapo.
Yeah, I was gonna. Well, not the Gestapo. I'm pretty sure was the Gestapo. I thought the Gestapo was like Hitler's private police. Am I
I
wrong
mean
on that?
I think they showed up to the hiding Jews.
Whatever. It doesn't
Um
really matter.
she knows what they
Uh,
look like. Is
yeah.
like that's I'm sure she knows what they look like.
Anyway, yeah. She'd never seen him before. His clothes were very strange, and his hair was in a spiky style that was totally new to her. She stood against the wall, wary of the stranger, but he walked towards her and smiled, extending a hand. My name is Goku, the mysterious stranger said, and I know I talked to you about this pre-recording, but I am so upset that they did not put in the
Hey,
"Hey,
it's
it's me,
me,
Goku."
Goku.
But I'm pretty sure I mean, obviously this was made before that, but I think he says it in the show as
He
well.
does
I'm
say it
pretty
in the
sure it's like
show.
not a thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like not a thing that's exclusive to like
The games.
fighters. Yeah. My name is Goku, the mysterious stranger said, and nervously put her hand in his. He bent down and kissed it softly, then let go. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's talk about let's talk about this for a second.
this is
Goku,
post Goku having a wife and kids, right?
yeah, Goku's got a wife and two kids. And Frank is like 14, I think.
I'm gonna look that up really quick.
Yeah. You mind looking that up?
And Frank age of death.
Age of
Not
Death.
I mean like it's presumed.
I mean, I guess whatever. Sure, go with it.
29 to 45, so that's like 16.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
So child.
Okay. She's definitely a child. I mean, it's fine in Japan. It's okay in Japan. So yeah. He bent down and kissed it softly, then let go, and blushed, feeling something she had never felt before go off inside of her. My name is Anne, she replied quietly. I'm sorry for what just happened, Goku told her, but I was caught up in a time portal and deposited here. My power cells will recharge soon, but until then I'm stuck here. I have no
Does he
idea
have
what the
power?
fuck
Yeah,
any of that
okay.
means.
I was gonna
I
ask.
have no idea what the
I don't know.
Okay, so there are a few ways of time travel in the Dragon Ball universe. There is the Trunks time machine, which does
That
run
I
on
know
power,
about.
actually.
Yeah, that I know
It
about.
run that actually runs on power. But, like, also, the time machine is, like, massive and has to go with the person,
Yeah,
and he says time portal. So that's probably not Trunks' time machine.
from
Um,
the description, it sounds like an instant transmission type deal.
yeah, it does seem like he just kind of like instant transmissioned to like 1943. So I don't think it's the time machine. There's also the Kai rings, but I don't think those existed at the time that this was written. Those will just let you time travel whenever to anywhere, without like creating like branching timelines like in the time machine does.
Yeah.
Um, but like I don't think that like they don't require power. So I have no idea what the fuck this is talking about. It just is a convenient bullshit excuse for like, hey, I want Goku and Anne Frank to hang out, so I'll just come up with something and it doesn't have to make sense. Okay, so until
Hell, it
then I'm
works for
stuck here.
me.
I mean, there you go. Anne had no idea what the handsome visitor was talking about.
I don't
Neither
have
does
any.
the
Yeah,
audience.
neither do we.
Neither does the audience, Anne. But she played along. Well, sir, she said, you may stay in my room as long as you'd like. I'm pretty sure they didn't have their own rooms in the annex. I think it was like,
I mean, it's she's probably referring to like. Also, wait.
isn't
She
that
would be speaking German.
well, she would be speaking German, that is true, but like Goku would be speaking Japanese, so
Yeah,
like I'm
which
gonna
just wouldn't work.
I'm fine with like just assuming that they speak the same language.
Okay.
Um, but with the annex thing, like they fought over food and like had to preserve food. There's no way that like Goku wouldn't get like shanked.
Hell, he might become dinner.
I mean, I don't think. Also, like think about how much Goku eats. They would kill him.
Yeah, they would kill him.
They would kill him. They would poison him. Anne blushed again as she said this and giggled slightly. Goku looked around and then sat on the bed. Thank you for your invitation. I'll be sure to repay you for it soon. Hey, it's me, Goku. Anne did not understand what he meant by that. However, when he spoke, she felt a warmth deep inside of her. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
She sat by him on the bed, staring at the man's beautiful eyes. Finally, she could stand it no longer. Anne leaned over and kissed the stranger on the cheek, and then pulled back quickly, not sure of what she had done. I'm sorry, she said, as she stumbled to find the right words. The visitor smirked. No, that's quite all right. Goku has a wife.
Yeah. And kids?
Goku has a wife and two kids. Because this is Z, so Goten probably exists by this point. I don't think it's ever like particularly implied, but he's at least whatever. I'm not going to get into it. No, that's quite all right, he replied with a smile, putting one arm around her. You know, you're a very beautiful girl, but well, Anne smiled at him, troubled. What's the matter? She said with a sweet smile. Goku looked nervous. I'm already married, he finally managed to choke out. Anne pulled away from him abruptly. No, she managed to choke out.
She said loudly.
Oh,
She didn't. Yeah, you
crap. No,
almost in
yeah, no, my
tears.
bad. Yeah, nah, my bad. I messed up there. And pulled away from him abruptly. No, she said loudly, almost in tears. I'm sorry, he replied. Anne was furious. Nothing ever goes right, she cried out. I have to
Man,
go now. My power
she's
cells
really
have recharged.
she's
They're
really
bringing that
loud for
back.
someone who's like, trying to make their existence non-entity.
See, I like the fact that like I feel like in this universe, Goku's power cells are pure bullshit because they recharge as soon as it's awkward.
Yeah.
He just wanted to hang out with Anne Frank for like 5 minutes and was like, "Well, shit, bye."
Whoops.
Uh, later, uh, yeah. So Anne was in tears by now, staring at the wall so she wouldn't see Goku's face. He smiled a sad smile and disappeared in another flash out of Anne's life forever. Anne never forgot him though, not until the end of time. How did everyone like it? Please review as it's my first story. So that's chapter 1.
Yeah.
Let's just like completely ignore the fact that you know, it's incredibly insensitive to make a Holocaust victim and a child victim of the Holocaust get with fucking Goku. Like I can't wrap my head around that part alone. That part alone is terrible. All right.
I just love the my power cells.
Ah, yes. Oops.
Oops,
Sorry, Anne Frank.
sorry,
My
Anne Frank,
power
my
cells.
power cells.
I gotta dip my power cells. Okay, so
Chapter 2 is a
so
lot longer, and it's
yeah,
also
chapter
the
2 is a
rest
lot
of the
longer.
fanfic.
Yeah, chapter 2 is both a lot longer and is the only thing left that exists.
Just yeah, just to give it like a visual, this entire thing is one gigantic paragraph. The rest of it has some kind of formatting, which is a lot
Yeah.
nicer.
Yeah, like
So
it has formatting and then it just falls off. Like
yeah.
there's just like a giant paragraph at the end.
So it's time for
Okay.
part 2, A Saiyan's Love.
Yeah. 1 month. Well, it didn't feel like a month. To Anne Frank, a Jew hiding from the Nazis.
Really hammering that
I
in.
feel like you don't I feel like people that are reading this know who Anne Frank is. It's pretty unnecessary to include that she's a Jew and hiding from the Nazis.
I just love how
Uh
they keep hammering that in, but also like don't really acknowledge it at the same
I just like
time.
the fact that they're like it's like, yeah, this is fine and acceptable. It's Anne Frank, a Jew hiding from the Nazis, but yeah, let's just like, let's just put Goku in there. Why not? Uh
Goku would
it seemed
stop the
like a year.
Holocaust.
1 month since the fateful encounter with the mysterious man from another world, who she only knew as Goku. The handsome stranger had stepped through time and into her life, then disappeared without a trace. Anne was almost sure that they'd never meet again, even though not one day passed without her dreaming of him. Little did she know, however, that their lives were tied by the unbreakable red string of fate. I believe that the red string of fate is an anime reference, but I couldn't tell you from what,
I
because I
got no
don't.
idea.
I
It
know,
might
I
just
know,
be a phrase. I don't
I
know.
know. Christian used a red string of fate to try and attract women.
Okay, let's not bring Chris Chan into this.
Nah, it's too late now. Now I have to. He would just like throw it. He just like throw like a red string like around his mall and hope that someone like grabbed it. And then he got kicked out by mall cops because he was littering in the mall.
Yeah.
My man.
He's not
Okay.
my man. He is not my man.
Okay. It was another boring day in the secret annex. Anne sat in the bed of her room, writing in her diary. It never occurred to her, however, that this entry would be her last. As she wrote in the quiet attic, there was a loud noise from downstairs. Her heart jumped with both fear and excitement. Was it them? The Nazis? Or could it be him? She had no idea whether to run downstairs or to hide.
Maybe
She
hide.
couldn't she couldn't have run downstairs if they were living in the annex, but okay. That decision, however, was made for her. Her door flew open and a tall soldier was visible in the doorway, glaring at her. The cries of her family members and friends were tuned out as Anne only thought of one thing. She stood up and followed the soldier out of her room, down the stairs, and into the back of a truck. So this is it, she said quietly to herself. I'll never see him, my one true love, ever again.
You met the
And all
dude
those
like for 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, like she hung out with Goku for like less than like 5 minutes, tried to kiss him, and he was just like, yeah, no,
Yeah, I got a
not,
wife and
I got a wife,
kids.
bye. And she's like, ah, yes, my one true love, Goku. Oh my. Sorry. And all those years of hiding, they were for naught. Then Anne realized that she had left her precious diary up in her room. She broke loose from the officer and made a dash back into the shop. When he removed a gun from his holster and fired a shot in her direction, Anne fell to the floor. All right, so I'm not I'm not super in the know about how the Diary of Anne Frank got published, but I believe it was actually left in the annex.
Yeah.
Uh which is how like Anne Frank's dad's secretary found it and gave it to him after he had learned that she had died during the Holocaust, I believe. Um
I
so
know it was
surprise
definitely surprisingly this actually like gives an
yeah.
explanation as to how the diary was found.
Yeah, surprisingly, other than the Goku, this is fairly historically accurate.
Well, I mean, Goku could have
I
been
mean,
there. We wouldn't
Goku could
know.
have been there. I guess we would never
We
know.
would never know.
Oh god. Okay. She broke loose from the officer and made a dash back in the shop, fired a shot in her direction. Okay. Anne lay on the floor, feeling searing pain run through her leg where the bullet had met its mark. The Gestapo officer
Yeah,
menacingly
see, they
moved
are the
towards her.
Gestapo.
Yeah, all right, I stand corrected. God, you're not gonna let me let that go.
I'm just
The, Ge-
saying.
the Gestapo officer menacingly moved towards her, grinning, when all of a sudden there was a blinding flash of light, causing the officer to shield his eyes. Is it the fucking solar flare, bro? Is it the solar flare? A huge cloud of smoke appeared next to Anne, blocking her from the soldier's vision. When the smoke cleared, he was in for quite a surprise. There was Goku, holding Anne in his arms, standing next to a huge metal capsule. Oh, fuck, it is the time machine. What? Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's
wait,
like the
yeah.
time machine. That's the time machine. What the fuck?
It's well, yeah. What the hell? But it wasn't in the other one.
I mean, he could have come back. He could have gone back and like gotten Bulma to make a time machine so he could go back and fuck Anne Frank, apparently.
You know, this reminds me of a
Sure.
song.
Sure.
I'm not
Goku
bringing that
cried
song
Anne.
in.
Goku cried Anne. You came back for me. Goku smiled. Anything for you, my dear, he said. Our love will never be lost, not until the end of time. Roll credits. The Gestapo officer turned tail and ran, but Goku was too quick for him. After laying Anne on the concrete, he dashed towards the Nazi and knocked him to the ground unconscious with only one blow. That's not really much of a surprise, seeing that Goku basically beat the Nazis at like 12.
Yeah.
So I'm not really like surprised by that. Or I guess I don't know how old he was when he beat the Red Ribbon Army. I don't remember anymore.
He was a
Uh,
kid. He was a
he was a kid.
child.
He was definitely a child, like very much a child.
He was probably younger than than the Anne Frank that he's trying to sleep with.
Yeah, he was probably actually. Yeah, you're probably right. Because he beats Ten Shinhan when he's 15, so
Oh
it
yeah,
couldn't have been.
definitely younger than Anne is in.
Yeah, no, he beats Ten Shinhan when he's 15. I think like 2.5 years are the time skip between the Red Ribbon arc and that arc. Anyway, yeah, he knocked him to the ground, unconscious with only one blow. Nazi scum, muttered Goku as he spit on his enemy's limp body. That's not really something that Goku would do, but okay. Then returned to Anne. Here, I have something for you, Goku said as he removed a small bean from his pocket. What on
Oh
earth is
man.
this? Ah, man, here we go. What on earth is this? Asked Anne. Goku smiled. Remember how ignorant she was to what everyday life to him. That's the sentence.
Wait, say that again?
Remember how ignorant she was to what was everyday
Oh
life to
yeah.
him. Just a very lots of twos and wases in there. A sensu bean, he said. Just eat it and it will cure your leg. Anne followed his instructions and popped the bean into her mouth as the wound on her calf magically healed. That's like a terrible idea because like with bullets, it would heal around the like the sensu bean doesn't like it doesn't remove like things from
Yeah, it doesn't
being
remove
inserted into
foreign
your
matter.
body. It doesn't remove foreign matter, it just heals your wounds. So
I
it would
mean
just
like
like
what's the word?
infection.
This is the 40s, so like my big concern would be infection and like shrapnel.
Yeah, infection would be my thing. I mean, I guess Goku doesn't really. I mean, there's never a point where Goku is like penetrated by a bullet. He gets hurt by them, but like only as a kid.
I'm also trying to think like if this is at like the end of the war, they're really cheaping out on everything, including ammunition.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, you know, there's a lot that could really go into that.
Yeah, we'll save that. We'll save that for later. Uh, Anne followed his instructions and popped the bean into her mouth as the wound on her calf magically healed. Now come on, commanded Goku. We've got some Nazi ass to kick. Not something Goku would say again, but whatever. Anne jumped onto the mysterious Saiyan's back as he launched off into the sky.
She knows
Goku
what a
wouldn't bring.
Saiyan is?
I I think the narrator knows what a Saiyan is.
Okay.
I also definitely like Goku wouldn't bring like random civilians into war zones. Like, he's not that stupid.
Kid Goku might have.
No, he didn't. Kid Goku actively avoids doing it. He goes and fights the army by himself.
Oh yeah, there's that. Yeah, there is that.
After only a few moments, the two of them arrived in Berlin. Tanks were parading down the street as Adolf Hitler himself stood on a platform overlooking it all. Great. Stay here, Goku said, dropping Anne in a shaded area under a tree. He then flew straight towards the parade of fuck.
The
He
the
then flew
parade of
straight towards
tanks.
The parade of tanks, first outstretched, screaming as
First,
loud as he could.
fist
Oh,
outstretched.
fist outstretched, Jesus, screaming as loud as he could. The soldiers below scattered in terror while the tanks tried to aim their cannons at him. He was too quick and nimble for them, though, however, and opened the hatch of a nearby panzer, then headed inside. After dispatching of the soldiers in control of the war machine, he took the wheel. He fired round after round into the crowds of Nazi soldiers, occasionally firing at the other tanks. After only minutes, there was nothing but a cloud of dust and corpses. Now, normally I would be like, man, that's pretty that's pretty brutal for Goku.
That's
But
pretty
no,
fucked.
that's just what he does. That's just what he does during the assault on Red Ribbon. He
Well,
just
no,
kills like
he's like,
every.
hey, you guys have 5 seconds to run away,
Yeah, but Goku's
and then he
faster
does
than
that,
them.
and then he does that.
Yeah, Goku's faster than them. He's like, yeah, you have 5 seconds, but I'll instantly kill you.
Um,
Yeah, no, the only way that people escaped that base, but no one got out from
no one,
Goku alive.
no one truly escaped
Yeah, no one truly escaped, except for Colonel Violet. She got out.
with a lot of money
Colonel
too.
Violet got so far out of the show that she just like never shows up again.
I mean, hell, I would.
Okay. Goku emerged from the tank's hatch, smiling now that he had done his duty. When all of the dust cleared, there were only two people remaining on the parade ground: Goku, the Saiyan hero, and Adolf Hitler, the most evil man ever to walk the earth. Now, the Adolf Hitler being the most evil man ever is questionable when you throw in like Mao and shit. But
Look,
I
man,
let
I'll let that one slide.
I'll let that slide. What I won't let slide is the fact that Goku like fucking like killed every single other person with like from a tank and managed to not kill Hitler, who is
Well,
like the commander.
he's like on his own little pedestal and all that. Also, like I feel like each individual Panzer only has so many rounds.
I guess.
Like, come
And
on.
watched from nearby. And watched from nearby fearfully as she saw that she saw the two men stare at each other for what seemed like hours. Her one true love and her ultimate oppressor. It had come down to this. So, Hitler said jovially, you took out all my men. However, you aren't going to defeat me. Hitler then jumped down from his platform and down onto the street in front of Goku, pulling a chain gun from the ground nearby. Goku quickly jumped behind a ruined tank as Adolf opened fire. The tank made decent cover, but it wasn't long. Wait, why is Goku avoiding machine gun fire?
Look.
Why is Goku avoiding machine gun fire?
I don't know, man. It's
He takes a
dramatic.
gun to the face. He takes a gun to the face in the first episode of the show.
Look, man. I don't know.
Whatever. Goku had to act. He dashed out from the side of the tank and flew as fast as he could toward Hitler, who had no time to react. He grabbed the chain gun out of his enemy's hands and he snapped it over his knee with ease. Hitler stumbled backward, shocked at the turn of events. Goku smirked, then said, it's come down to this. You and me, fighting like men. If you admit defeat now, I'll kill you
Oh my
rather
god.
painlessly. All right, Goku
No,
definitely
that's definitely not. Yeah.
Goku would definitely not. That's a Vegeta line. That is an absolutely Vegeta line.
I think that's a quote from Vegeta.
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't think it's a direct quote, but I
It's
think he
pretty
does
close.
he says things similar. Goku had the definite advantage, or so it seemed. Hitler burst into a laugh as Goku looked on quizzically. The mustachioed man slowly rose into the air as
Is
his
he?
brown
I guess he is
hair
mustachioed.
mustachioed. It's a very weird word to describe Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, like you'd say like
Uh,
Wario's mustachioed.
Yeah, like like I hear it mustachioed and I'm like, "Ah, yeah, Mario Party, not Adolf Hitler."
Not too far different. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I
Mario's
guess
done some war crimes probably.
probably. So the mustachioed man slowly rose into the air as his brown hair and pencil mustache turned to a blonde color and his brown eyes turned blue. Goku reeled in horror. Hitler
Hey, I
continued
mean,
laughing
maybe
in front.
Hitler finally became the kind of man that he's the perfect German or whatever, right?
Yeah, the super Aryan.
Yeah, the super Aryan. He does it right there.
Yeah, he does. I don't know. So I guess that explains why Hitler was so obsessed with Aryan genetics despite not being Aryan himself.
He was just
It's because
saying
he
the
was a
whole
Saiyan.
time.
He was saying the whole time. Uh, and then they just steal a line from the Broly movie. Hitler continued laughing, then finally said, "Goku, you came here expecting to find a madman, but instead you found a god." Hitler had become a Super Saiyan. Yeah, that's it's basically verbatim a line from the Broly movie where
Is that the one
Broly
where
refers.
Vegeta says they're speaking the language of the gods?
No, no, that's Super. The Broly movie is where Broly refers to himself as the devil.
Oh, okay.
Um, it's really cool in that movie without the context of Broly being a terrible character before Super fixed him. But yeah. Uh, Anne looked on in awe, not sure what was going on. At first, it seemed like her lover would win the battle, but now she was not so sure. Bruh, he's only a Super Saiyan 1. Goku, just go Super Saiyan 2 or 3,
Or
and
blue.
you're good. Well, that didn't exist yet.
Oh,
Super
okay.
Saiyan 3 was like the max at I think at the time, or maybe Super Saiyan 4. This might have been when GT was still canon.
Look, man, I don't know.
Anyway,
I watched Abridged and and Dragon Ball. That's it.
I mean, you watched the best. You watched the best of it. Uh, okay. Anyway, uh, okay. Goku now seems scared of his opponent, and it was for a good reason. Hitler continued to speak. Goku, can't you see? I've reached a power level 10 times anything you've ever achieved. Your fate is sealed, weakling. Even though the battle seemed unwinnable, Goku charged. I don't know why this battle is unwinnable. If Super Saiyans exist, Goku has become a Super Saiyan. That is like you can't write Super Saiyans in without knowledge of Goku being a Super Saiyan. Whatever. Goku
I
charged
mean,
in,
like,
screaming.
when did he get the whole Super Saiyan thing? 'Cause, like, this could be an episode 1 type deal.
I mean, he gets Super Saiyan on Namek, but the fact that Super Saiyan is even referenced, Goku is the first Super Saiyan in the show.
Oh, well, yep. Proceed.
Like, if you want to have, like, yes, he could have come from like Snake Way or something like that, but like also the fact that the time machine exists means Super Saiyan at least exists because Trunks goes Super Saiyan when they find the time machine.
Yeah, alright.
So Super Saiyan exists.
Yeah.
Goku's like afraid for no reason. Goku charged in, screaming at the top of his lungs. Every blow he struck was deflected off of Hitler's rock hard body.
Ooh, gotta
It's a
love
very
that.
weird way. I was gonna say that seems very, very much a
That's
sexual,
sensual, man.
yeah, rock hard body on Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler, the pinnacle of manliness. Hitler waited for Goku to tire himself out, then raised his fist and punched Goku, and one punch was enough. Goku was knocked across the street into a large propaganda poster of Hitler, thudding to the cold, hard ground. Hitler laughed, thinking that victory was in his hands at last. Goku, however, was not ready to give up. Bruised and battered, he rose from the ground, limping in Hitler's direction. The Nazi leader laughed. You still want to fight? Don't you know when to give up, boy? You can hardly walk, and you expect to beat me, conqueror of Europe?
I mean, that's what the
Goku.
Germans thought at the time.
I mean, if this is 45, no,
I mean,
because
like
at
with the
that point,
propaganda posters and stuff.
that's fair. Goku ignored Adolf's taunts as he continued to stumble his way forward. Finally, the two arch rivals, they're not arch rivals. That is not what arch rivals means. The two arch rivals were standing face to face. Goku stared Hitler into the eye, then screamed, "This is for love!" and flew up into the sky, his hair turning blonde, his eyes blue, and an aura of power radiating from him. Hitler looked on in horror at Goku. He had made the ultimate achievement. He had become a super ultra power Saiyan.
Is that a thing?
What? No,
Okay.
that's just like super ultra power Saiyan is not a thing, but it's just a joke that people make when they talk about like, oh, what's the next Super Saiyan form gonna be? Like Super Duper Saiyan. I know that Abridged makes a joke about it.
Look,
It's just
man.
like really
There's
bad.
Super Saiyan 2 Super Saiyan. So like
Well, that's after this part.
I know
Like
that's after
the
this, but that still is a thing.
it is a thing, but like app like it's like when DBZ was like not like when DBZ was like the only thing that existed and there was like GT, but like no one knew about it. People would just come up with like weird names for Super Saiyan stuff sometimes.
Okay.
So I think that's the joke. If this is ironic, I don't know if it is. Goku made a cup shape with his hands, aiming at Hitler as he belted out the words Kamehameha as a beam of pure energy shot at his enemy, disintegrating the Nazi leader's body. Wow, it really only took one Kamehameha? All
Look,
right.
man. I mean, I don't know.
Like,
I got nothing really.
Goku then collapsed to the ground in a heap, exhausted from the fight. 2 years later, what?
Time
Oh,
skip. Fuck you. Time
yeah, we
skip.
just guys. I can't really iterate how terrible this part is, but it just goes from like the fight, no paragraph, time skip 2 years later, and Frank
Yeah.
and Goku would finally reach the date of their wedding. It's
Yeah,
really
no,
bad.
it's literally a period double space. That's it. That's
Yeah.
the only
Period
separation.
space. 2 years later, Ann and Goku had finally reached the date of their wedding. Yeah, Goku just like leaves his wife and children, I guess. Whatever. Uh After the battle, Ann and Goku destroyed the time machine.
What?
Okay, sure. And took a boat to Australia. Okay, sure. They changed their names and lived new lives, ready to start over. The two young people looked into each other's eyes as they kissed, as the Reverend pronounced them man and wife. Finally, it seemed Anne was at peace, and they would always be together until the end of time.
So this has to be ironic, right?
Beautiful.
They pull out the my brother's idea in like the first sentence.
Yeah, I guess we should really get into the analysis bit where
Yeah.
a lot of what we go over is like writing stuff. If there's like if it's badly written, if it's got terrible formatting, if it's bad spelling, all that kind of
The spelling is fine. The grammar's questionable.
stuff. The grammar isn't even that bad, but there's a
Oh
little bit
god,
of weird stuff.
where's that one line?
But like a lot of the analysis bit is just figuring out if it's ironic or not.
Remember how ignorant she was to what was everyday life to him.
Yes, it's not great
There's
grammar,
a
but
lot of
like
awkward okay, there's a lot of awkward sentences, I should say.
yeah. No, but the biggest problem with this fanfic is that it takes a Holocaust victim and pairs them with fucking Goku. That is the
Not to
worst part of
mention
this.
a child.
Yeah. Also the fact that like Goku as like a 20-year-old, because if we're talking Z, at minimum,
Yeah, he's
he
like
is at minimum he's 21, I think.
he's drinking in the
'Cause he's
States.
no, a little bit older. 23, I think. At minimum he's
That is
23.
still drinking in the States.
It's still drinking in the States. But and then Anne
Anne
is
would be hoping to get her permit soon.
yeah, Anne is 14 and Hitler is 23. But
Goku is 23.
um, sorry, Goku's 23. Yes. So like, there's like just problem. There's a problem with that. There's a problem with the fact that like Goku just destroys the time machine and is just like completely fine with that. With like that, like no more. Not going to see his wife. Not going to see his kids. I mean, to be fair, in the show he leaves them all the time, so I can't really be like that upset about that. But like Goku wouldn't leave Chi Chi for another woman. That he wouldn't do that. I don't think he's ever been presented the opportunity to do it, but I don't think he would do it even if no, he definitely wouldn't do it if he had the opportunity because cuz even outside of Goku actually caring about Chi-Chi, it was literally a promise he made to her to marry her and stay faithful, so he wouldn't break his promise,
Yeah.
which is the whole reason why he gets married to her in the first place. So yeah, no. There is no way that he wouldn't be with Chi-Chi. No way. No way that he would get with Anne Frank of all people. Fucking Anne Frank. I really hope that this is ironic because if it's not
I think it
ironic,
is. I think it is cuz just the concept is so like
out there
out there. Yeah.
and insensitive.
And
It's
insensitive. Yeah,
it's
if
out
this was
there.
like written today, there would be some capital cancel culture on this.
I don't think it would get cancel culture because again, like it wouldn't get cancel
Well,
culture. I
maybe
don't
not
think.
canceled, but like there would be some negative energy radiating around this thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely there would be. There should be negative energy radiating around this thing. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
It's just that it's funny. It's funny enough where like you can kind of distance it from being a terrible, insensitive thing. Just like just again, 14-year-old Holocaust victim of Nazi oppression and eugenics policies, paired up with fucking Son Goku. Just ugh, ugh. And then at the end it says howdy. At the end of the last at the end of chapter 2 there's actually nothing, which I'm kind of surprised by. There's actually no description of anything in chapter 2, which makes me think that it might actually just be a different author who's plagiarizing and including more shit onto it. If so, whoever you are, why? Why would you add more to this thing? But yeah, so
I mean,
if
like, it's kind of the case of like, it's crazy and it's kind of an old internet oddity that a bunch of people like remember.
yeah,
So if
yeah.
someone can like slap their name on and be like, "Yo, look at me! I was the mastermind behind Goku X and Frank."
Well, we'll get to that. When we get to like bigger fanfics, there's a lot of that with like some of the bigger ones of like, oh yeah, I actually wrote this terrible thing. You should all like care because I wrote something terrible. But I'm not gonna get into that right now. We'll get into that when we get to like My Immortal and shit.
Yeah.
Um,
Um.
so
Speaking about more,
for now,
yeah.
for now, that's the end of our first fanfic. Where are we
This
at?
we're looking at a half 36 minutes. So I
Okay,
think we can
well,
get into our next one, which is a Dan and Phil fic named the Hat fic. I don't. Do you know anything about Dan and Phil?
I don't know anything about Dan and Phil or this fanfic. I know
Okay.
that there is a hamster involved.
Yeah.
That is it. That is all I know.
What's the word? So this is actually from a friend of ours, and their dedication is hide your kids, hide your wives, and especially hide your gerbils. Um,
Oh no, that's
the
concerning.
yeah. So I asked this person about Dan and Phil, and what they told me is Dan and Phil are an internet duo that basically did videos together in the past, and they were the quote uwu small beans to Tumblr users. So this is already terrible.
This is gonna be a terrible, terrible thing.
Yeah, and
See, I wanted to like pick a fanfic that was like, this is like not the worst thing to start us off with. You could not have to like throw up after
oh, some of
reading
these,
it. This
yes, some of these we're gonna probably have to like put a warning beforehand.
well,
You know the
since
one that I'm alluding to. Um,
Yeah, since we're not actually reading these, like we don't read these in advance mostly. These are all kind of going to be like live reactions.
yeah,
But like,
the Goku X and Frank is kind of an outlier.
yeah, we kind of know that like that one doesn't have too much bad stuff in it. But from this point forward, just assume that every single episode of this podcast is like a parental advisory warning.
If you're eating,
Uh,
keep eating.
if you're eating, keep eating. Pause the show.
We'll
We
still be here.
totally get it. We'll still be here. If you have kids, please take them out of the room.
Oh,
Uh,
definitely. They should have left before.
Yeah. And if you're doing anything where you're going to be worried about being like triggered or grossed out, just stop.
Yeah,
Stop right here.
this
Stop
is
it.
not where you want to
This is
be.
the point. This is the point. Just stop here. We like that you were here. We appreciate you coming along the journey for the Goku and Frank. But from this point forward, it's probably going to get pretty gross. So
Oh,
I'll
got
leave it
just
to
got some
you.
more info.
Oh, did you? I'm
A
sorry.
lot of these fan fictions were surrounded about the idea of them being gay, which later was confirmed that they are gay. Um,
Are they dating or are they just gay?
I don't. I mean, I'm getting this secondhand from someone who barely watched their videos. Man, I have no idea.
Okay, I was
Um,
gonna say I don't know. I know that there was a lot of them being gay, like back in like 2013. Like people
yeah,
really were pushing them.
yeah. They actually have a title like the fanfics, but instead of FAN, it's PHAN. Um, for their ship name, which oh boy.
Wonderful. Oh boy.
Yeah, and supposedly they're living together either now or at the time of writing.
Well, they did live together at the time of writing, I think.
Okay. But yeah, I really don't know these guys. We just had a friend who
We
watched
don't
their
know.
Sims Let's Plays and then recommended this to us.
Yeah, all we know about them is that they exist and they're gay. We don't know anything else. So this will be fun. This will be great. I'll leave the floor to you, Max.
Okay. Oh God. Um, so the author, I actually can't tell who the author is from this page, but the
Uh,
post is
I think
by that lonely fangirl with GURL, and there's 4 L's at the end of it.
says that they got it from Amazing Phil on Tumblr. So I
Yeah,
think Amazing
so maybe it's
probably
Amazing Phil with 2 Z's.
that's yeah.
Uh,
So maybe that's the author with
yeah,
2 Z's.
yes, 2 Z's.
2 Z's.
Hey Dan,
Anyway,
hey Dan, can we get
are
a
we
hamster? I've always wanted one, but my roommate never thought that we would look after it. Phil, we've talked about
wait,
this.
what?
What?
Wait. I'm already confused as to the perspective. So are we Phil?
I
Because
guess.
like it goes from nondescript dialogue to I always wanted one. So I
Yeah,
think
so we're Dan.
no, we're Phil because
Or
Phil
no,
it's
we're Phil. Sorry, we're
we're
Phil.
Phil. We're Phil. Which makes sense because it seems like the person who wrote this, or at least the person who sent it to that lonely fangirl, uh
Is more on the Phil side of the Dan and Phil spectrum.
yeah.
Uh,
So makes
okay.
sense. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I was already
No.
confused.
I confused myself.
I was gonna say it definitely is weird. It's a very weird perspective. It's a very weird perspective change right off the bat.
But yeah, so Phil, we've talked about this. You wouldn't look after it properly. You can hardly look after yourself, he retorted. It wasn't really in an angry way, but never even took into the account that I was older than him and I lived by myself before him, so getting a hamster wouldn't be that bad. I decided not to argue. Dan was stubborn and wouldn't change his mind. I was going into town later on anyway. I needed to get changed. So I needed to get changed. I put on my usual of skinny jeans and a top on.
Wow, this is the first time and probably not going to be the last time of let's fill up our fanfic with describing what I'm wearing and how I'm wearing it.
I hope this doesn't become a theme.
It's definitely a theme from someone who's read a lot of fanfics. Whenever people just like to describe what their characters are wearing because they think it's interesting despite the fact that it's not interesting at all. So get ready for that.
Oh boy. Okay. A paragraph. I finished getting a few pieces of food, sorry, that Dan needed, and I was heading back to the bus.
Man, you want to try that sentence
Yeah.
again? You slipped up like 5 times
Oh my
there.
god.
You
I'm
all
like
right
looking. I
there?
was looking at 3 separate lines at once, because I'm afraid of what's gonna happen next, and I'm trying to not like flip up my lines. I finished getting a few pieces of food that Dan and I needed, and was heading back to get the bus. When I walked past the
Wow.
pet shop. What? Wow, what?
Nothing. You just stumbled over yourself there again. My bad.
Look, man, there was a
Okay.
recovery. I
All
couldn't
right.
resist, but walking in, and I saw a cage with a small, fluffy, black and white hamster in the corner. I looked at the price, £10 or euro. I think that's
I think
euro.
that's pounds. Is that euro? I thought that was pounds.
It doesn't matter.
No,
Uh,
doesn't matter. European currency that
you're
we don't care about.
nondescript
Ignorant.
European currency because we're
European
Americans.
currency. We're ignorant Americans, so
I'm
we don't care about your euro. We have our Washington.
yeah. Uh, it was too small and cute to say no to, so I bought it in a cage. I walked out just as my bus arrived. I paid my fare and hopped on. I couldn't stop smiling as the hamster was one of the best things I've ever done. Or that's what I thought.
All right.
Uh,
So far pretty innocuous. You just bought a hamster.
I mean, like,
I know.
yeah.
I'm just trying to delay the inevitable. I know it's gonna get weird.
No, it's just more like, yeah. So I had a conflict with my roommate, and then I decided, fuck him. I don't
Yeah,
care about your opinion.
well, I mean, to be fair, like it's not really like if it's like, hey, it's my hamster and it's gonna be in my room and I'm gonna take care of it. Your roommate can kind of just go fuck himself at that point.
Yeah, I'm thinking more like, if I was like living with somebody and they're like, yeah, let's not get a dog, and I'm like, fuck you, I'm getting a dog. Um,
Okay, well, I'm thinking, well, in the context of a hamster, they're not
yeah.
like very high maintenance, so I don't really think it's
They
that
also
big a
don't take
deal.
up a lot of space.
Exactly, like they're it's not a dog.
Um, I got home and shouted out to Dan, Dan, come and see what I bought. He bounced into the hallway of the front door. What's up? I raised the cage with the furry ball curled up in the corner again. The expression on his face changed from a sweet and innocent smile to a sick and twisted one, with an evil glint in
Uh,
his eye.
uh,
I love it. I was completely wrong about saying no to getting one. He sounded genuine, but there was something about the way that he said it that made me feel uneasy. So what's it called? Dan asked. Can we call him Striker, please? I always love that name. I don't really know why.
what's up with like this? Like, I gotta ask Dan everything. Like I can't name my own pet. I need Dan to give me permission. Is this like gonna turn into like some weird BDSM shit?
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
Like that's the vibes it's giving off though. Like you have to ask your roommate permission into naming your own pet. Very weird.
Yeah.
Like whatever. Yeah, it's continue.
Sure, his reply was cold and harsh. What was wrong with him? I shrugged it off and went into my room. Okay, so they do have separate rooms.
Okay.
It was only 9 o'clock, but I was tired and fecked a bit ill.
Fact a bit ill.
Fecked a
Fact
bit
a bit ill.
ill. I pulled my PJ bottoms on. I mean, when you write PJ, do you put periods after each
No,
one?
no, it's
Okay.
periods after the first. That's fine.
Okay, that I legitimately didn't know. I just say pajamas. Um,
It's like how you read at USA.
you don't write it with all three?
No, not unless it's the end of a sentence.
I guess I'm just weird or wrong.
Okay, whatever.
And
I don't
slipped
know.
into bed. Oh no. I woke up during the
Yeah,
night.
I'm already seeing it. I'm already seeing it. I don't want it.
My
I don't
body
want it.
freezing cold, and I was unable to move.
If you want, I will take on the narration for Dan, and you can be Phil.
You mean like his voice lines or his lines?
Like his lines, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because
Um,
like I feel like a lot of these fanfics going forward are gonna be like, you know, very much like two people romancing, and I feel like with our chemistry, we could do a lot of fun stuff with that.
yeah. All
Or
right.
die.
Or
That's
die.
also an option. We could also just hate ourselves. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, also just a note on the formatting. This paragraph is gigantic.
Yeah, this is a real long one. I'm seeing it. Oh god, it just doesn't end. It just doesn't
It
end.
doesn't end?
No, it doesn't end. It's
Okay.
the rest of the rest of the fic is just that paragraph.
Oh boy. Okay, so formatting is just out the window.
What's up with these fanfics where they like have formatting for the first like 40% and then the last
They
60 is
just
just
give up.
one. They're just like, well, I just want to write about my weird Dan and Phil fetish, so I'm just gonna stop caring.
Okay. Oh. I opened my eyes and they were wide with shock. I looked down and I was naked with ropes tying me to a chair.
Tying is spelled wrong.
Yeah, there's two eyes.
Yeah, yeah, that's not how it works.
Um,
Anyway, continue.
and in the corner was a sinister looking Dan that was also naked.
Morning, Sleeping Beauty. I was wondering how cold the room had to be before you woke up. Fuck.
His voice sounded so fluffy and innocent, unlike yours. Uh,
Well,
but
all
the
right. I'll
words coming out weren't.
try a little harder next time. Okay.
uh, he was only wearing his fluffy brown hat. He pulled it off to reveal a small black creature sitting in it. Striker. What the fuck was he doing? I don't
That's
normally
a legitimate
swear, but
question.
yeah, no, that's a very good question. Which is ended with a period, by the way, just a note.
What the? Yeah, no, it's not. What the fuck was he doing? It's like,
What the fuck was he doing?
yeah, no, I don't like that. Okay, whatever. Continue.
I don't normally swear, but the situation was so confusing. I was terrified with a
Oh,
Y.
why? Yep, I see.
What was Dan going to do to me? Dan? What are you doing? Why am I tied up? Why? I stopped when he moved towards me. His expression changed from being happy, like when I woke up, to murderous.
Is this a fucking horror fic?
Yeah,
What is
I
this
don't know.
shit? Okay. Sorry. Don't be scared, Phil. We're gonna have some fun with Stryker.
He cackled. I don't know how to spell menacingly, but that definitely is not it.
It's menacingly, but it's spelled
Menacingly.
yeah, it's spelled Menisingly. Jesus.
Yeah, I know how to spell menace, so I know that this is
Yeah,
definitely wrong.
Dennis the Menace,
Dennis the
spelled
Menace.
spelled meanest.
And showed off his erect member. Oh, well, 18 plus warning.
All right, 18 plus warning. We
Making
got
mine start to rise. Phil? You got problems? He
dude.
put the
I just love seeing other people. I mean, they're gay, so whatever. It's fine.
yeah, that's true. He put the hat down. Striker's still sitting in there, and faced it with his length, the
Oh no!
perfect
Oh no!
height
Oh
to
no!
aim into it.
Oh
Dan,
no!
what are you doing? Please stop,
I
said the
regret picking.
audience.
I regret picking Dan.
He stormed over to me and gave me a rough kiss.
Everything will be okay. I promise.
Dan grabbed a gag from behind me and put it over my mouth. He walked back over to the hat and began to stroke, looking over to
Stoke.
Oh yeah, to Stoke.
Stoke looking over me as he did so.
After a short time, his his
Oh,
seed exploded into the hat. But
is Stryker still in the hat, right?
yeah, Stryker is still very much stuck in the hat.
Yeah, all right.
But he didn't stop there. He kept going until the hat was filled with how?
Yeah, no, what?
How
Man. All right. So for the ladies in the audience, all 0 of you. Um you can't come like in one session with enough volume to fill a hat.
like that just doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's like a lot. That's a lot of
That's like an unhealthy amount.
yeah, it's like you couldn't even pee in enough quantity to be
You
able
could
to fill a
probably
hat.
like I mean, if you were really down bad, maybe.
I
Maybe.
how down bad are they? They're like clearly fucking like pretty continuously.
Yeah, that's true. No, I meant like on the piss end.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, Jesus, no.
Yeah,
Um,
no, no, no.
the white liquid was nearly spilling over the top, and my poor hamster was barely able. If the white liquid is spilling over the top, your poor hamster's gone.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, your hamster's dead, dude.
uh,
No.
was was barely able to breathe. It was doing the oh okay, never mind. It was doing the doggy paddle just to survive, and all I could do is sit and watch.
Can hamsters swim?
Uh, I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah,
Can
sure.
hamsters swim?
Because like I don't think they can.
Hamsters can swim, but in the wild, they will only swim if they got no other choice.
I mean, I
He's got no other
yeah,
choice.
this hamster really has no other choice. All right, fine. So I guess it's fine.
That is a direct quote from Pocket Pets 101. Definitely a
Great.
credible source.
Great, man. You're gonna get us killed by pocket pets before we can even get out in episode 2.
Hey man, I cited my source. All right.
All right, all right, all right. Continue. Continue.
What's the word? Oh god. Dan grabbed the hamster's head and pushed it down into his own sperm. After 5 minutes of his
Oh,
sick games, he pulled it back up, dead. It was long dead by
whoa.
5 minutes.
Whoa. All right. Jesus. He just drowned a hamster. All right. Okay.
He snapped the hamster's head off.
Oh. Oh. Ooh.
The neck bone shattering and making me mumble what was supposed to be a scream. Tears flowed down my face and he squeezed the blood of Stryker into the hat. Ugh. That's an animal abuse case. He looked over at me. He was sick and twisted, but also kind of sexy. What?
Oh. Yeah, I know he just fucking killed my pet,
But
but
like
like,
I'm
damn,
kind
he's
of hot.
pretty hot.
It's kind of hot.
It's
Uh,
kind of hot.
he
Man,
picked
this
up
is
the
like
hat and moved. Oh no.
oh no. Oh.
Okay, he
Alright.
picked up the hat and moved towards me with one hand with one hand undid the gag.
Open wide.
he said in a sarcastic tone. I did as I was told. I didn't know what else was hiding behind me. He began to
Oh.
he began to pour the sperm
Ugh.
and hamster blood mixture into my mouth, only for me to realize he had put poor Striker back in there, head and
Oh!
body.
I thought he liquefied him.
No, he just snapped his head off
Well, he
and crushed
snapped
his
his head,
neck.
like I thought he squeezed his head.
No, that was a break. Oh my god.
Okay,
The fluid tasted disgusting, partly because it had gone cold.
That's what you're worried about?
But also because I knew that it was my hamster's blood I was drinking. That's the issue?
Yeah, no, hold on. I feel like these should be definitely swapped. Like, this tasted gross because it's my hamster's blood. In addition, it was also
Yeah.
cold.
Oh god, he pulled back halfway though. Not that I'm complaining. And said,
Good little Phil, do I taste nice? Oh,
my eyes
this is
widened. What do I
these are the fix
say?
that I was talking about when I was like, "Hey, you guys might need a cold shower after listening to this
I
podcast."
need a cold shower.
Yeah, no, I might be taking a cold shower after we finish recording. All
Oh,
right, continue.
what do I say? I was about to open my mouth when he slapped me.
Oh, crap. Speak, bitch. I
Uh,
guess.
I wanted
Sure.
to raise my hand to my face. My cold face stung with his hot, sticky hand touched it. You taste amazing, Dan. I managed to choke out.
Spelled wrong. Menaged.
Menaged.
Yeah, I do. Time for more fun.
I didn't like where this was going. I don't
I
like
don't
where
like
this
where it's
is.
going. I don't like where we are, where we're going, or where we were. Can we go back to this
Can we go
being
back
like
to...
a roommate? Can we go back to like this being a roommate disagreement where they like figure out that like they can coexist with their pet? Can we go back?
Oh, God.
Oh God! All
He
right,
pulled back.
please
He
continue.
pulled the black body that was covered in white from the
Wasn't it
hat.
black and white anyway?
Yeah, it was
Also,
black and white.
wouldn't it be coded red?
It was also probably coated in red, but the writer forgot that, so it's
Yeah.
just
All right.
covered in
Whatever.
white. Um, Also they're different densities, so maybe he just drank all the blood. I don't know. It was
Whatever.
halfway done.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Dan
I know.
rammed it down my throat, causing my gag reflexes to... It's causing my gag reflexes to
It's
kick in.
causing my gag reflexes to
Yeah,
kick in.
and I vomited all down myself. Uh, Dan smirked at this and got on his knees. He began to lick all over me.
Why?
His soft tongue was
This,
gliding all over me until it found its way to my throbbing erection.
what about this? This was just like torture, and now it's like very sexual out of nowhere.
No. They fucking set up the Chekhov's gun that was his erect
Well,
penis.
they set up the Chekhov gun of the erect penis, but like it feels like it's definitely coming out of nowhere, even though they set it up.
Um,
Like we just went for hamster murder and hamster like corpse
Corpse
eating
Vor.
to corpse vor to like I'm gonna suck your cock now. And I feel like that's a bit of whiplash, I think.
This whole thing is fucking whiplash.
Yeah, all right, fair point. All right,
He
anyway,
started at the
continue.
tip and worked his way all the way down. Okay, sorry about that. Deep throating me. It felt so nice. Most people couldn't do this, but it didn't last long.
What do you
Uh,
mean most people couldn't do this? What are you talking about?
I don't know. Maybe he's got a thickie.
Yeah, I still think that you can suck dick if it's thick.
Fucking taking it all though. Not people got strong gag
I guess.
reflexes.
I guess. All right. Fine. You're
He.
more gay than me, so you would know.
I'm not gonna comment on that.
Anyway,
He looked up to me, his innocent brown eyes making me melt.
promise you won't run. What the fuck? Wait,
He's,
what? Oh god.
he sounded so sorry, so I nodded. He got up and untied me. He grabbed me by the shoulders.
I'm gonna lie on the floor. You are going to pour the rest of the hat on me, then lick it off, okay? Oh.
He growled. Sweet. Loving Dan was gone then.
What is up with these fanfics and just like, because I've seen another one that's similar to this with like it like being this weird BDSM relationship where like it's just abuse and there is no other, like it's just abusive. Like this is just abuse.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Look,
whatever.
man, the people who write this are definitely not. They're not playing with a full
Yeah,
hand.
that's true. That's true.
Um. Uh,
Okay.
I quickly
Sweet loving
nodded
dad.
and he got on the floor. I grabbed the hat and poured it on him, just as he commanded. I began to lick it off him. The mixture wasn't as bad as last time. I
Oh,
think it's
great.
because
Good.
I'm not having it forced down my throat.
Is this me?
That's you. You're Dan.
Suck me off, Phil. I don't, dude. I can't remember anymore.
It sounded so weird, but yet again, I did as I was told. I wasn't as good as him. I could only fit half of him in my mouth before I felt sick. I wouldn't even. I'm not gonna comment.
Oh, you
Uh,
should comment.
I was going for what seemed like forever, but he pushed my head away. Before he pushed my head away.
You've done well. You've done well, Skywalker. You've done well. Who the fuck says you've done well? Whatever. You've done well, but
I
there's
don't know
one
who
last thing I
fucking
need
rips their
you to.
best friend's
Yeah,
hamster's
all
head
right, all
off.
right. Fair point. Fair point. I really am like focusing on the molehills when there's a giant fucking mountain of a problem. Uh anyway, yeah. You've done well, but there's one last thing I need you to do.
He pulled out the hamster's head from the pile of leftover sick.
Leftover. Oh, sick as in vomit. I wasn't sure what they were
Yeah.
going for there. When you say stop, I will. Wait, what?
Yeah, I think they're
When you
British.
what?
I saw him.
When you say stop, I will, but only if I think you've done good enough. What the fuck? What does that mean? Who is saying this?
I believe that's Dan. I think that's him being like, "Hey, you can say the safe word to stop this rough abuse,
Yeah, this abuse.
but only if I think it's good."
But that eliminates the point of the safe word.
Again, ripping hamsters' heads off.
Yeah, I know. Okay. When you say stop, I will, but only if I think you've done good enough.
I started to shake and tremble. Dan put his arm around me.
It's okay. It won't be that bad. This is literally abuse tactics.
Yeah.
Like,
Uh,
did this person get abused? Because they seem to be very knowledgeable on how abusers act. Whatever.
Look, man. They're not playing with a
Listen.
full hand. I don't even think the deck is full.
Yeah. The deck's not there. The deck is on the table.
Uh, okay. He hushed me. It was nice. He was so much nicer again.
Are you ready?
Phil sounds like he's being abused.
Yes, he is being abused.
No, but just like the oh, it's nice Dan again.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm talking about. Like, this is written from the perspective of an abuse victim, and it's like done well, except for the fact that you're not supposed to call this out.
He 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 asked me that's not spelled right.
Yeah, a
Okay.
sense.
A sense
Yeah,
of
yeah, spelled wrong.
impatience is groaning
You good? Yeah,
Grounding?
growning in his tone.
Grounding in
Growning
his
in his
tone. Okay. Yes, Dan. I stuttered out, and he quickly rolled me onto my front.
frown. Yeah, quickly rolled me onto my front.
Okay. Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
it might, it might, that might be. I'm pretty sure you don't use a U in that word if you're a Brit.
I mean, I don't fucking put you in
I don't
front.
think that's a thing. You can keep reading.
Yeah, I look up front, and everyone and like it's just like showing results for front.
Frount, plural frountes, the front forward side of something. according to Wiktionary.
Oh, so it is a thing. It's just
No, it's a thing in Middle English.
oh, well, it's not okay, so it's not a thing.
Yeah, no, it's not a thing. It's a thing in fucking archaic English. Middle English is like the Canterbury Tales. It's like barely readable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
Um,
Anyway, continue.
his hand placed on top of my back, pinning me down. The hamster's head in his other hand, nearing my rectum.
Oh no. I
I
know
know
where
where
this
this
is.
is going.
Yeah, so do we. We just don't want to read.
Okay. Okay. So there, what's the word? Just so that the audience knows, there is actually other paragraphs. They're very small, and they're at the end.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, and I didn't want to spoil myself.
Yeah. I, I'm reading this first sentence, and he
Yeah,
rammed it
yeah.
in with no hesitation, and a burning sensation spread throughout me.
That's
Throughout being
not how
two
you.
words.
Yeah, that's not how you throw out, but okay.
For the rest of it, he used his manhood to push it in.
Oh god. Oh fuck. So he just like took like this corpse of a hamster,
No,
placed it
he took the skull with
the
its
skull of the hamster
yeah, the skull of the
specifically.
hamster with the fur and blood and probably by this point brain matter leaking out.
Yeah, and just shoved it in this
Phil's
other guy's
asshole.
asshole with with his dick.
No. He put it in with his hand, and then when he's like, "All right, this is as far as this hand's gonna go, but this dick is
Well,
gonna get it and
this
much
dick's gonna go
further."
all the way. Oh god.
I wanted to say stop, but he wouldn't. No space between stop and but. But
Yeah.
um, I know it. Finally, it got too much, and I screamed out, "Stop! Yes, please, please stop!"
Yeah, please, can we be done?
I looked back at Dan, who just grinned.
Come on. Come one, Phil. I was gonna not, but you know. Come come on, Phil. I know you can do better than that.
He forcefully went in further. Not quite all the way, though. Dan, please, I'm begging you to stop. It's so sore. I'm fucking
Jesus.
pleading for him.
Oh my god.
Uh, I pleaded. The burning sensation turned into a stabbing feeling. Yeah, probably because the skull of the thing, or like its
You got
jaw or
fucking
something,
you
is
got
actually
bones in
cutting
your
into
ass.
your rectum.
You've got bones in your rectum. They aren't. Fun fact: bones are not supposed to be in there.
Oh my god.
My god.
Dan stroked my hair and gently pulled out of me. The hamster's head was still inside me. It felt horrible knowing that I had a dead animal's head sitting inside my. Oh my god, his intestines?
Ins? Jesus, man, really pushed it far. Must have a big dick. I can see why Phil puts up with this. Ba-da-da-da-ba-da-ba.
Dan puts his hand, oh god, his hand inside me,
Oh,
and he went deep. I cried out in pain. I felt like exploding. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
He finally showed me his hand with the head in it. I wish the torture was over, but no. No. But I knew Dan would have other plans. But this time he didn't and just wrapped his arm around my hips.
Let's go to bed.
Dan said, pulling me up as he said so. I leaned in for a kiss, and so did he. We walked down to my room, and when we got in, he pushed me under the bed. I thought he was going to want sex, but he was so caring he just spooned me until we fell asleep. This is an abuse victim. That's not written
Yeah,
there,
this is
but this like, oh my
yeah.
god.
Yeah,
Uh
no, this is very much an abuse victim.
oh, I just pre-read the next sentence. I woke up
Yep.
to find Dan with the hamster's body and head in his mouth, chewing violently, bones snapping and crunching under his teeth.
Oh,
He had blood dripping from his chin. He crawled over to me and I licked it off for him. He grinned as though I read his thoughts and he finished eating. And the fucking bastard closes with, and every month we buy a hamster.
oh.
That's it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Dan and Phil, I know nothing about you, but I feel so fucking bad
I
that you
really
had.
hope that they've never read this and don't know it exists, but
They have to know it
it
exists.
has on this reposting, it has like 7,500 fucking reads.
Yeah, they definitely know about it.
And this is a repost from the original Wattpad or the original Tumblr post on Wattpad.
It's amazing that someone can have so many ways to express themselves with the English language, and they choose the worst possible one.
I feel actually sick.
Yeah, I feel a bit sick myself. Okay, so let's analyze this. So the biggest problem with this is that it's the most fucking disgusting thing I've ever read. Um, so far, Anne Frank is winning in terms of being readable literature. Uh,
This is readable, kind of.
I Yeah, no. Let's even go over things that aren't just related to the fact that this is like legitimately disgusting.
It is a pound. I
The
looked it up. It is a pound sterling. 10 pounds sterling. They are Brits.
So they're Brits. So let's talk about the other minor things that aren't like just the fact that like this fic exists and we read it. Um, the spelling is all over the place and is constantly fucking up. Um,
For the spelling
the
being so terrible, the grammar actually isn't horrible.
Yeah, the grammar isn't bad. The formatting is real bad, especially in the second half. It just
Yeah.
like never fucking stops.
Going from waking up to the actually to sorry, there is two parts of I think the way that they're doing this is they're using paragraphs as chapters. No,
Yeah,
never
I'm a
mind.
little
That wouldn't work either because it
yeah,
goes from I
no.
woke up, right, waking up, body freezing cold, to the fucking
He
you
rammed it
taste
in with no
amazing,
hesitation.
Dan.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I miss one?
Yeah, no, it turns out that the
Yeah.
huge paragraph is actually split in two. Um,
Oh, I see. It's
yeah,
not really because there's no space, but like, yeah, I guess. I guess I can kind of see where you're coming from. Um,
I think
but either way, like
that's more a
we don't
Wattpad
know.
issue, it seems.
Yeah, either way, this doesn't really seem like formatting is really on. Oh, sorry. Like formatting doesn't really seem to be a problem with like the fic itself as much as it is a problem with Wattpad being terrible. Um,
Also, this is a
but
repost, so
this is also a repost, so whatever. This is um fucking disgusting. Uh, I wish everyone a good day except for the person who wrote this. And I'm actually I mean obviously this is ironic. There's no way that this isn't ironic. Like this is the most disgusting, depraved shit. There's no way that
I
like
don't know
someone
if
wrote.
this is ironic.
Well, no, here's my thing. It might have not been written from the impression of like let me make a bad fanfic on purpose, but there is no way that someone went into this fic with the idea of yeah, I people are going to want to jerk off to this,
It
you
does,
know?
well, when you write this kind of thing, when you like make this kind of stuff, it's at least from my perspective, you're not trying to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm trying to get the most people to fap to whatever I write." I think it's more along the lines of like I just like this is just a story that I find interesting or attractive, which you know I'm there's a lot wrong
Yeah,
with what this person finds interesting and
yeah,
attractive, but like
yeah.
there's some fucked up like there's some fucked up people on the internet, my man,
I gotta
and
give, I gotta give them credit though for the final fucking dig. It's like a fucking horror film or like horror novels like final dig of like oh psych, there's still shit happening. This isn't a one time occurrence, you know.
yeah,
But like there's no way that that is like intentional. This is probably supposed to be more of like a feel good like oh we do this every single like isn't this great that we repeatedly do this, but it comes off like a fucking horror movie sting because of how disgusting this is.
like I don't know, the amount of detail in like the sexual stuff leads me to believe that either A, this person was abused, as our original theory was, and they're like trying to get it out in some relatively healthy way.
Relatively
Emphasis
healthy.
on relatively.
It's still unhealthy. Please don't do this.
Yeah, Or B, parts of this they legitimately think are attractive and are just kind of like projecting this onto the internet personalities Dan and Phil, who once again,
Yeah.
boy, do I do I feel bad for that.
Yeah, like these two motherfuckers. I knew about all the gross, disgusting fan fiction shit that they had to go through. I can't imagine making content for a large audience with like someone that you might be dating but might just be your friend, and having to like look them in the eye with the knowledge of like there are fanfics out there where he shoves a dead hamster in your asshole.
Yeah, Jesus. I feel like
Yeah,
making I mean they did make content for like Tumblr girls. Like that probably wasn't they're like,
yeah,
"Ah, yes, we're going to make content for Tumblr girls." But like their
they did.
content
They did.
appealed
The
to
Tumblr girls.
the Tumblr girls. And
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm sure a bunch of guys cuz these guys are gay and, um
Yeah, lots of gay guys out there.
but like when you're in that, when you're in that market, you have to they're like they had to know. They had to know this was going to happen. Not this specifically,
Yeah,
not this bad, but they had to know.
yeah. I'm definitely in the camp of this is irony, but it very much could not be, and that's horrifying to me. So I think that's where we should end it because I
Yeah.
don't think I can do another one.
Also,
Um,
yeah, we're at like an hour 16. Um
oh, okay, yeah. So let's just go over the things. You can find the podcast on Spotify, YouTube, and on our website, which is just an RSS feed right now. You can go there to apocrypha.live. I wanted to buy apocrypha.porn, but it was too much money.
yeah, it was
Um,
like 750 for the original
yeah,
purchase.
well,
Um
unfortunately, we didn't buy apocrypha.porn, so I had to compromise with the logo. Um, but yeah, so that's I mean, I think that's where we should really end it. We don't really have much else to really discuss other than just, I feel like I need to take a fucking shower and, throw up a little bit in my
yeah, I
mouth.
was like, man, I don't remember if you remember, but before this I'm like, man, should I like eat dinner? And then I'm like, no, that's a terrible idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I ate dinner. I actually ate dinner before recording, so, I've been trying to keep it down for this whole time.
Yeah. But what's the word? We also are taking submissions for these fan fictions at our email, apocryphapodcast@gmail.com. We're probably going to get our own mail server in the future, but that email will be active for the time being. If you'd like, you can also throw in a name or names and a little dedication, which we'll say before the podcast. But yeah, thank you and have a wonderful night.
Thanks. I am in pain. Please come back because I need you. I need you to come back and listen to more of the podcast. I can't do this without knowing someone's out there. Good night.